Hello guys, welcome to the Swagger tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll teach you Swagger with the help of Express and Node.js, and I'll cover everything like file upload, sending headers, queries, and body and path, file upload, download, like responses, like each and everything I'll cover. And I'll not write the documentation like API documentation in the same server page. I'll make a separate YML file and there I will write everything. So let's just get started, and if you watch the whole video then you'll probably like it will be very easy for you. So I'm in a folder called Swagger. So I install few libraries, one nodemon obviously, then other one is Swagger UI Express. It's Swagger UI Express, then Express, then YAML. YAML is use YAML JS. It will use for loading the YAML file where I will write the documentation. And let's just install it. You'll know how to write the documentation and how to use the UI with it both. So it's installing and probably it got installed. Let's just open it with code and let me close it. It was before. Okay, yeah, let me make it a little bigger, and here I'll make a new file, and that file will be index.js. Now here I'll import everything and start typing. So we'll say const express equals to require express, then I'll say const swagger UI equals to require swagger UI express, then I will say const YAML equals to require YAML.js. Then I will say now everything is done, like main important things. Now I'll say constant swagger JS docs. So now I load the swagger JS docs file. So now it will be in the YAML file. So I will load it as YAML dot load dot slash API dot YAML. So this file is still not present because I will make it after we'll finish the Express setup. Now next thing is we need, then we'll say const app equals to Express. We'll make a instance of it. Then we'll say app.use. Now here we'll tell where we will serve the Swagger UI. So I'll say on API dash docs. So it will be on this path. So it's pretty common, like majority of people use this path only, so that's why I'm also using. And then I'll say Swagger UI dot serve. It's serve, not server, like some people write server mistakenly and their whole time is gone. Then I'll say Swagger UI dot setup, and here I will pass the Swagger UI JS docs. So basically we'll load the documentation in this Swagger JS docs and we'll pass in the setup. Now everything is done. Now we'll just have to do app.listen and we'll say 4000, and after that we'll say console.log up pan running. Okay, like normal, nothing messy. So now here I'll make a new file called api.yaml in this say in the same path. So you can see the file name is api.yml, so that's why I have made it as api.yml. So I'll like Swagger, and here I'll give the version. So basically it's 2.0 only, like everyone uses 2.0, and when you install it will be 2.0 only. And after that I'll give info, and info is like a little bit. So let me just tell you. So if I do title, so here you just write like I write YouTube API. So here you are telling what is the title of your Swagger. Like normal, like you have a company name. So suppose you are building for a company, that's company name API or whatever. So now let's just run and check it. So I'll say nodemon index.js. So it's up and running. So now let's just go to API slash docs, and we'll say localhost API slash docs. It's running there. So see YouTube API, but no operation defined because we haven't done anything. Now if we suppose want to change to any other company name, so if I'll say, like, suppose I want my title to be this is my Swagger UI doc. Okay, whatever you would feel like. If I save it and see, it hasn't been reloaded. So nodemon, generally when you change a file, it should reload. So if I just reload this, see, it hasn't been reloaded because what happens, nodemon only watches the JS file. So you can see watching extensions JS, MJS and JSON. JS, MJS and JSON. So it's not watching the YML file. So to make nodemon watch the YML file whenever we change it, so we'll add another file called nodemon.js. So it should be nodemon.js in the same directory. Okay, so here we'll open two curly braces and we'll say extension, and here we'll just define the file we want to see. We'll say .js, and we'll say .mjs, and we'll say .json, and we'll say .yaml, and why it's like this. Okay, it's not JS, it's JSON. Sorry for guys, that's JSON. Yeah, so extension JS, MJS, JSON, YML. So it's already watching JS, MJS, JSON, and I added one more YML. If I save it, now if I run it again, so it will now show the this string because I have reloaded it. Now if I change it, let me check. This is my Swagger. Okay, so let me save it. See guys, it automatically reloaded. So you can just come here and check. This is my Swagger. So that's for auto reloading. So let me just make it side by side. Yeah. So we can close nodemon.js file. Now next thing is can give description also. So these things are not necessary, but it should be there because you are making a documentation, so everything should be there. So in description we'll say this is my company documentation made by me. Okay, if I save it and if I reload it, this is my company documentation made by me. This is a description normal. And what else then we have version. So we can give version. So version is like your version is, suppose this is my first API version, like I'm writing for the first time, so I'll say 1.0. So if I just do it reload, so you can see 1 came here. Okay, so after that we'll have a contact is who built this, so we want to contact the developer, so we'll just put email, and here we'll say syosas@gmail.com. If I save it and reload it, so we can see contact the developer. If I click it, so it will open the mail where you want to send the mail. So this ID will appear there. And see, if I'm not writing these things, then also it's working. So but you should write this whole step because it's very necessary, because that's well, otherwise your boss will say write everything. Then we have license is normally like Swagger license, so we'll just say name Apache 2.0 and URL, and we'll say http://apache.org. You can put your license also, but I don't know why everyone uses this only, so you have to use this also only. So we'll say servers. So let me just show you till here what happened. Why it's not showing the license? Let me just, I think servers, it's reloading. Yeah, reloaded. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not showing license. LISCENCE. License spelling is correct. LISCENCE. I think it doesn't show the license part. But if my remember it shows. Okay, whatever. So we'll go next with servers. So here you can describe your servers. So I'll say my server are like one server is my http colon slash slash local host port 4000. So I'm running here, so I'm describing one server. And what I'll say description, I'll say this is my local server. Then I want development server, so I'll again say URL, and I'll give http colon slash slash some company name company.com, and I'll do the description. This is my company server. Okay, save it, hit it again. So everything is okay. I got some error. What? Okay, there's some error, indentation error. You can see mapping in sequence. So let me just check where is the indentation. If I do like this, if I save it, let me just check. Okay, there shouldn't be any space like dash. Just remove the space between the dash, and okay, it's now up and running. If I go to Swagger, no operation, like everything is fine. Okay, now we'll tell the schemes. So we'll say schemes SCHE. Now from the starting index, let me just put a space. So in the schemes we'll say I am following HTTP and HTTPS. So it will just show both the schemes here, which schemes you are following. So like here is HTTP and HTTPS. So whatever you want to use, you can use that for testing your APIs or whatever. So now the main API part comes. So we'll say so firstly let me make a normal what do you say API. So we'll say app.get, and we'll return a string. So we'll say slash string, and we'll say request comma response, and we'll say rest.send. This is a string. Okay, save it. So normal, it's a get request. I'm sending back a string. You already know normal APIs na. So now we'll say path. So here we'll define our path. So now after this, press enter. So see, whenever you see there is a colon, then the next line wouldn't start from the first line. It wouldn't start from the starting index. It will start after a tab. Okay, that makes sure clear. And we'll say it's a get request because it's a get request. See, you can see I made a get request. If you want to do a post, you will write post. So we are doing a get, and after that again we'll write the summary, like what does normal API does. So I'll just write returns a string. So normally it just returns a string. So if I just save it and just show you what happened till here. So it's not appearing, we have to write more. Then we'll give the description, and here we'll say here lengthy description we can write. We can say it is just returning a fake string, like this normal. Okay now, let me save it, and here I have to define the API also, on which API. So it's running on this slash string. Okay, so after the path I'll sell it will be on slash string. Okay, so let me make it these things out. Yeah, let me just save it and show you. and it should appear get string. It's reloaded or not? Okay, it's reloaded. So guys, it should be paths, not path, because we will writing multiple APIs, so it should be paths. If I save it, reload it, so we got a get. Okay, so if I click here get, so it's showing you everything. It's on the slash string, it will go to returns a string, summary about returns a string. And if you want to see the description, just click and say it is just returning a fake string. And if you want to try it out, just click try it out and you execute it. But we are not getting any response because we haven't defined any. So after that, we'll define responses. So we'll say responses. So here I'll say it returns a 200. So basically when you doesn't define any status, so by default it send 200. So let me just define it also, so it will be clear for you. Save it. Let me put the bracket so it looks little nice. Okay, so res dot share 200. Okay, so on 200, what I'm saying, it will return a description. So I'll just write returns success. I'll say success. So it's a success message responses. Okay, so if I just save it and reload this, if I try it out, so it's showing you, see, now code 200 return success, matlab like you have successfully done. So if I do execute, so now this is a string, this response body. So you can see this is a string. So now we got a response body, this is a string, and you can see the URL slash string and it's 200. But suppose I want someone is sending 400. Suppose I'm sending, instead of 200 I'm sending 400, like user error. So now if I do again, so now it's sending 400 but it's working, but it's showing you undocumented. So we have to give it like what responses will give. So on 400 I'm saying description user error. Okay, so if I save it, reload this, if I go try it out, execute, so see now bad request response body, now there is no error. So if I just show you what, so it by default sending, like if you get 200 you will get a success, if it's 400 you can get a user error. So it's like this, you can define everything, like on 404 you will get what you will get. Okay, so let me write for 500 and I'll say internal server error. Okay, yeah, so like this. So now internal server error, but now you have want to tell us also what type of response will come, like what type of response will come. So on 200 the response will come, so we'll say schema, and what type of response will come, it will send you a string. Okay, string, and let me just save it. So see, it's showing you example, like it will send you a string. So model, if you use, it will send you a string. But if you want to tell the example on your own, so you'll just write example, you can write a fake string. If I save it, reload this, and type string user a fake string. If I let me have to put it in quotes, I think so. If I reload this model, so example a fake string. Okay, so now it's sending you, showing you example also what type of response will come. So if you want to do same thing in this also, you just copy this and do this. So and here you just make sure of the correct indentation, and you can just write example what error you will get, so whatever you need. So like this you can do in 400 and 500 also. Okay, so now let's just move to another part. Now suppose you want to return a object. So we'll just copy till here. We don't need paths will be defined only once. Okay, now we'll just do it like paste. Okay, so now let me just comment and write everything. So here I'll say returns a string. So you can get my code from the GitHub, and here I'll say returns a object. Okay, so now suppose I'm sending back an object. So for an object you have to make a URL. Let me make a URL, and we'll say slash, and we'll say slash user, and status like 200, and let me send a object. So object will be like this, and here will be an ID, an ID 1, and there will be a name. We'll say Tom Cruise. So we are just sending a normal object. Okay, so you can like write like this also, const obj equals to this obj. So it's normal, it's an object I'm sending back on the slash user. So here I'll define again, so it should be, let me just delete everything, otherwise you will get confused. So put a tab, or not that big much. Yeah, it should be on the same indentation, I think a little bit more. Yeah, so I am running it on slash user, and slash user will be a get. So you can see it's a get slash user, and we'll give a summary. We'll say this returns a single object. Okay, now description returning a object. So these things are not necessary, but you should write because that's what is Swagger for. So now we'll just tell the responses. So we'll say responses. So we'll get an 200, and now description success. So I'm not writing like for 4 and 500, like it's the same. I have already told you. Now here I will define the schema of my object. So I'll say type, I am returning an object. Okay, so let me just show you and then tell you again what else we are doing for. Let me just make an enter, and yeah, save it and reload this. So you can see we got another slash user. This returns a single object. If I do get, and you can see I am returning an object. It is showing you example value as an object. If you go to model, you can see an object, but it's empty. It's not telling me what type of return value I'll get. So if I try it out, so it's normally users route, response body users route. Okay, it's slash user 4000 users route. Why it's sending me users route? That is strange. Tom Cruise string. Let me reload this. Multiple choices. Okay guys, you can see it returning object only, because previously it was like there was some cache in the browser, so I just removed some cache and now it's returning fine. So basically on this I'm telling just return an object, and it's returning this object. Okay, over here. Okay now. So but there is one problem. If I come here, if this is my object URL, but I doesn't know which type of object, like in like string can be an only string like a normal 2 quote string, but object can have multiple keys, multiple values. So you should know like how many keys will be there. So here I'll just give some examples also. So we'll say properties and here I'll say we'll have a id dash will be of type string, the id of type integer, and name of type string. So what I'm telling, you'll get a response. The schema of the response, there will be an object, and object properties will be, there will be id of type integer and name of type string. Id of integer, name of type string. If I just save it and reload this, okay, there's some indentation error. Okay, I have to put space. Yeah. So now if you see, now if I go here and you can check, let me reload this. Okay, it's spelling mistake. It's properties, not properties. Just made a spelling mistake. Now see, it's showing you the like how you will get. So it's showing you id 0 and name string. So this will be a type of response. This is not the response. You can see the response is this id 1, name is Tom Cruise. This is an example response equals to model. So you can see integer, example value, there will be an id 0 and name string. So this kind of response you will get if I try it out. So you can see id 1 Tom Cruise. So it's on like before only telling us the type of response we'll get. Then again, if you want to do for other codes, so you can do for 400 and same thing, then you can write description, like same thing you can follow if you want. And that's it guys. So now let's move to the next part. Now we want to return array of user, returning array of users. Okay, now I want to return the array of users. So what will be the path? So I'll say on slash users. It was on slash users, it is slash users, s is there. And then same thing what we used to write, there will be a get request and the summary returns array of users, description array return, or whatever you want to give, or you don't want to write it, that's okay. Then I'll say responses. So responses, so in 200, now I'll let be the description be, so I directly like the schema, so I'll say schema. So now I'll say type. Okay, so here I won't telling, let me copy this also if you want, so there won't be any confusion from your side. Yeah, so schema, here we are just returning an object, so we wrote object, here we returning array, so we'll say we're returning array. So whatever you, if you are returning integer, just write integer, or string, just write string, whatever you are returning. So I am returning an array. Now array should also have properties, so I'll say properties. Properties, no, it should be items, sorry, it should be items, because array have an multiple items like index 1, index 2. So I'm telling the items in items should be of type object. So object, there will be an array, in array there will be items. What type of items will be there? There will be a objects, like there are multiple objects. Now if, and now I'll say properties. Now what type of object will be there? So I'll say properties like this. Let me just, yeah. So if you let me understand you again, here I was telling I am returning an object, and object properties are these. Okay, id and name they will be. Here I'm telling I'll return an array. In array, firstly I'll write items, like what type of items there will be. So I'm telling in array there will be on objects, and what type of objects there will be. So object properties are this. Okay, so now let's just make the URL fast. So we'll just say API, so we'll say let users equals to, we'll make an array, and we'll just copy this object paste it, comma again, comma again. So like 3 IDs there will be there into, and we'll say 3, and we'll say Brad Pitt, and here we'll say Clark. Okay, so whatever, save it. So this is an user's ID, yes, splash. So I'm now I have to return it. So we'll just quickly make an say users, and we just send it the users. Okay, so basically this is the array of object. I'm just returning the array of object. If I go here, reload this, okay, there's some indentation error. Summary, description, responses, schema, users, get, summary. Everything is fine looking to me. Description, schema, type, properties, items. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, I don't know how it came here. This, okay, there was an hash, na? Comment, yeah, like in here you have to comment like hash. Okay, like Python, in Python you comment like this only. So returning array of users, so save it. Now it's running fine. If I reload this, okay, now we'll get this users array. Now if I check, so it's telling me I have defined response type. There will be an array of this type of object. So if I try it out, execute, so see we got an response body id, id2, id3 array of this. So if you define something else, so that doesn't mean the response won't come, but but it should be clear like what because Swagger is used for to let others know how API is working and how it should work. So that's the benefit of that. So you should always define it clearly. Okay, now next stage is if we want to send data dynamically. So suppose if you want to send data slash users slash user ID. So I want to send data from here, like slash dynamic URL, like whatever you have, then after that ID 4, ID 5. So this dynamic URL. Okay, so I want to send data dynamically. So you just wrap your word, whatever name you want to use, and just wrap it in curly braces, and this will be the our URL. So now we'll say it will be a get, then we'll say parameters. So basically you can I'm defining parameters here because here we are not sending any data. So here I have to define parameters, or you can you can write or not summary description. Let me just copy and paste it here if you want it. Okay, summary description. Now we'll say parameters. So I'll say name. What is the name? So I'll say user ID. So there should be an space between dash and names. Make sure of that. And I will say user ID. So this name and this name should match. So I'm telling there will be a name user ID. And from where I have to send it. So I have to send it like from path. So I'll say path. So I am sending, it's called path. So I'm sending it from path. And it is required, so I'll make required true. So like it's required, and after that we'll say schema of that. So schema what it is, so it should be an ID of type integer. We'll say type integer, and now the response time, so we'll say responses 200, and description will be success. You can define return type also like above, but that will take more time if I keep on describing everything. I will think it will show an error because it's not in the correct indentation, I think so, not sure of. Okay, it's running fine. So now we have to make this URL slash users id. So I'll just copy this, paste it here, and we'll say slash users slash colon id. So whatever id I'll get, it will be captured in this colon id. Now what I'll say, rest dot send users, and I'll say users, and I'll say constant object equals to users dot find users dot find x, like the is will loop over it, and then we'll return x dot id. This should be equal to request dot params dot id, and it should be pass int. So we'll just do pass int. Let me just save it and check. Okay, yeah, and we'll just return the object. So what I'm doing here, id will come like 4 or 5 whatever, then I'll find it in the users. So you see, this is the users. If you can see, this is the users. So I'll say users will find x dot id should equal to request dot params dot id. If you do request dot params dot id, you will get this thing, and I will change it to integer, and whatever object I'll get, I'll just send back those. Okay, so let me just check it. So this is the one. Okay, let me make it here so you can see it clearly. Yeah, because it's taking so much down space. Yeah, so now if I just check it here, now I have to write the id. So see, there is some error, that's why it's showing like this. So let me just make the indentation correctly. Parameters name user id. If I just name in path required true schema type integer, save it, reload this thing. Okay, there's again indentation error. That's so much freaking. Name space in path required true. Let me just make it little bit like this, and required true also like this, schema also like this, type also like this. Let me now check it. Okay, now it's working fine. So see, now indentation got corrected. So now it's telling me you have to send a user id. It will be sent in the path and it's required. So now if I try it out, if I say user id 1, so I just execute it. So I'm getting this Tom Cruise id 1. See, so see, you can see http localhost 4000 users, automatically it made it 1, because I have told you just use this as params. If I make it 2, you can see 1 is for Tom Cruise. If I make id 2, execute it, so I getting name Clark. So you can see name Clark is for id 2, and it's coming here, taking the id here, finding the id from the this whole array, and sending back the object. Okay, so here also you can describe your responses type, like how your response will be schema type, like the way I have described here, but it will take time, so I'm not describing again and again. Now come to the creation part, like the posting part. Okay, that's little bit tough. If I say sending data through, let me comment it, sending slash reading data through path. It's called path. Okay now, so now we'll say post JSON slash body. So we are now post as JSON body, like the way we do from Postman or whatever. So what we'll say, we'll say create. It will be a create API, and it will be of post. Summary, we can write it like posting data. Then you can write description also. So we'll say produces, what it will produce. So we'll say it will produce dash space application slash JSON. So when we send JSON data, it's like application slash JSON format. Then it consumes what will come back. Come back will also be application slash JSON data. Now we have to define parameters we're gonna send. So for the parameters, we'll say in body. We are writing in body like it will be sent in the body. No, JSON is sent in the body because that's how we access request dot body. It will be in body, like here we have told in it will be in path. So this means here we have told okay, I haven't came to that part, query part. So here I'm sending the in body. Now name is not necessary. Name is something you wanna name for your body. So I'll say what I'll say user. Okay, so it's just a user body. So I'm like posting user data like name and ID I'll post. So just a user body. And after that I have to tell the schema what type of how the data will look like, that will I be posting. So I'll say type, it will be of type object because I'll be posting an object. Application JSON should look like an object. And properties will be properties. What should be there? There will be an ID, and ID will be of type integer. Then there will be name of type string. Okay, now if I say for responses 200, description. Okay, so this is how we'll create it. So now to access it, we'll do one thing here. Firstly, we'll do app.use express.json. So I'll pass the data like you use body parser and everything for parsing the data from the body. Just use like this express.json. You don't have to install third-party libraries. So now I'll just copy it. Now I'll just paste it, and I'll instead of this it will be a create API. And here I'll say, let me just close this whole thing. I'll say users equal to whatever data will come, just copy it and say in the same users objects. Okay, that's a spread operator. Basically what I'm doing here, I'm just the data coming, I'm adding it in this users array. Okay, so this is the short form of doing that. Then I'll say res.send users. Okay, everything is done. Now let's just reload this thing. Okay, there's some error again, indentation error. I mean, what should I do? Every time there's an indentation error. Summary post produces application slash JSON consumes parameters in body name schema type properties ID type name responses. Okay, I think responses should be little bit here. No, it's okay here. So basically just do like this, just put it like 1 2 3 and it should work. So now it's working. So it will be a lot of hassle for you every time there indentation error in the Swagger UI, and you doesn't know where the error coming from. You have to find it from yourself. Now let me reload this. So if I see, now it's showing me a post request, create posting data. So I have written posting data. If I open it, now it's showing no parameters defined, but here I have defined the parameters. But why it's showing us no parameters defined? Parameters mean the input, where should I input the data. So we don't have that. So because here is was a spelling mistake, parameters. So let me just save it and reload this. See, now we got the how the data will be sent, and body, you, it should be a name user, so that's a normal username, and it should be inside a body, and id 0 name string. So that's the most freaking part of Swagger documentation. You don't know where is error coming from. You just shave your head like this. Okay, so let's just write out. So we'll say id 0, like there is id already. Let me check 1 2 3. So I make id 4, and name I'll give Sylvester Stallone. Okay, so in return I'll get the whole users after adding it. So let me just try it out. Execute. Error, cannot post. Okay, I should make it post instead of get. My fault. So now if I try it again, so now we got the everything done. It send a request to create, and now id 4 is also added as Sylvester Stallone. Now if I see make you id 5 and make it as John Abra, whatever. If I do it execute, so in return I'll get John Abrega. So when I'll do some changes here and it will reload nodemon, so this extra 4 and 5 will be gone, you know that. So don't get confused where is 4 and 5 we previously added. So it will automatically reload and it will be gone 4 and 5. Okay na? So you can check here users also. Now it will return whole back. Try it out. Execute. Now I'll getting 4 and 5. Now if I suppose do some changes like this and enter, now node mount reloaded. So now if I execute it again, now 4 and 5 gone because it was in the process only, RAM only. So don't get confused in when we go forward. Now we want to suppose define with data with reference. Suppose you have this id and name you are taking again and again in several places. Suppose you have taken id and name here, and you were taking uh, uh id and name somewhere. So here you are telling id and name. So see, id and name you are telling again and again, like in future, or maybe you have 10 or 4 post requests and everywhere you have to define id and name. So you will be like, oh, you just keep on defining. So it's better what we do. Let me just comment it out because we'll do the same thing. Let me just copy it and comment it out. Let me paste the same thing here again. Define with id. Okay, it hasn't been copied. Let me just copy it again. Definition, sorry, it's not defined. Definition with id. Let me do definition. Okay, so now everything will be same, but we'll just delete the schema here. Like we have to define schema and again, or maybe it's a lengthy schema, so this thing got messy. So just to remove that, just cut these things, control X, and you just here tell dollar, you will just providing a reference where your schema will be. So I'll say hash slash components slash schemas slash user. So basically I'm telling go to components, schemas and user. So where will it be? It will be just down only. Like you can just come here and write what you can write. You can just write components because it's under components. It should start from this stuff first index, okay, and after that there will be schemas, then after that there will be user. Let me just make it above, and after that just paste that thing, type object whatever you copied, make the indentation correct, and let me just save it. Now if I just reload it again and come to post one, see now id and name again showing. So basically what I'm telling, for the schema, go to their reference I have provided, it will come here and it will go check component schemas users, and it will take this and put it up here, okay, just like this, because we have cut it from here only. But suppose if I go to model, is showing it string and integer. Suppose I want to show something is required, so I'll say I type id is required, so I'll say required true, like this. So if I save it and if I reload this, if I go to model, so see required true, like id is required, like id is required, so it's telling you like id is required, okay. So let's just cancel. Now let's just move forward, and now what we have query, okay. So we have definition, okay, definition is done. Schema, let me light this is schema with definition, okay. Now there's another thing we have, that is called queries. Hash query, you know what it is? Query is like this, you can see, suppose xx.com, and then you have a question mark, and we will say app whatever value you have value, then you have and name equals to 40, whatever the name Thor. So you know that is query. Like after this slash there's a question mark and there's a object variable and its value, then there's another variable and its value, okay. So now we are going to work with query. So what we'll say, put a slash get, we'll say users query. So we'll say users query, this a URL from where I'll just return the users, and I'll say get, it will be a get. Then you can write like this summary and this description. I'm just leaving all of it. I'll directly go to parameters, okay. Now I'll say in dash in query, okay. See wherever I am sending data, I am writing parameters. See, I am sending data here, I have wrote parameters. I am sending data in this from body, I wrote parameter application JSON, okay. So wherever I'm sending, I'm writing parameters, and the way I'm sending here, I'm sending as a query. Here I'm sending in the body application JSON. Here I'm sending in the path, like here, okay. So here I'm telling everywhere how I'm sending, okay. In the query, what is the name? Name is id, and okay, yeah, name is id, and if a type integer, and I'll say responses 200, description, okay. So basically I'm send in the query the id, name should be id of that thing, and it should be an integer, okay. So I'll receive an id. So if I go to API, now let me make the API of the same. So let me copy this thing, and the API name is users query. Let me remove this thing, query, okay. Now instead of params, I'll get in request dot request.query.id. Okay, same thing, query will come in request.query.id. I'll pass it into integer, then I'll just find it in from the user what the id of the user is and send back the object. Okay, so let me just save it here also. Let me reload this. So see, now we got the, okay, see, that's what I'm going to tell you. So see, everything is fine, but here not slash users query is not here. See, slash users query is not here, because what happened, it comes here and checks whether, like, whenever there's a starting of the definition of the schemas, it just stops there, it doesn't come down. So always define the this schema in the end, always in the end. Like, now it will check before also, otherwise it will just come and stop wherever you have just defined the schema. Now just save it. Now if I reload it, now users query appeared. Now see, it's an integer, it will go as a query. Okay, so I want to say, try it out. Now I want to get the one data, and it should be responses, not responses. Now if I reload this, yeah, so now if you can write 400, 500, 404, whatever you feel like. Now if I do one and do execute, now I got the id1 Tom Cruise. So see how it's going, sending localhost 4000 users query, the API name, then question mark id1. So that's the way it send a query. Okay, and id, like if I do id2, execute it, name Clark. So suppose there is only three options. I already know there are only three options, so I can restrict user to select from those three options only. So here I'll say enum means a list of items. So I'll say one, id1, id2, id, these three ids are only present for the query. If I reload this, nug available values 1 2 3. If I come here, try it out, you can just select any one, execute, I got the data back. Okay, that's how you can do it. And suppose you want to send some more data, just do copy and just do here and paste, same thing, nothing. Now here, what name you want to give, just I want to give the name as age. Suppose age I'm giving, it will be an integer, and enums not needed because age can be anything like this. So if I just save it, show you, okay, you have to do query also again, like write query also. Now just save it. Now reload this thing. So see, now you can send age also, and here you can send the id also. So age I'm sending 45, so nothing will happen, it will just go because I'm not taking age here there. So execute, so Tom Cruise, so you can see id1 and age 45 it's sending. And here I'm just choosing the, you can see request.query.id only here, the id. Okay, id part, here you can see I'm choosing the query as id only, so nothing with the age part. Okay, so that's how you can send the query. And what else we need, suppose we want to upload a file, that's the some faking stuff coming up, not that much. So we'll say file upload. Okay, so we'll say it will be in slash upload, and it will be a post obviously. Then we'll say summary and description, let it be, if you want to write it you can. Then we'll say consumes, it will consumes, and it should be a dash space multi part slash form dash data. So it should be a multi part slash, because you know you can send data through form data multi part only, like files. And what parameters will it have, so I'll say parameters, and here I'll say it will be in form data and suppose here I was telling me it will be in query, now I'm telling it will be in form data. And now here, like I'm telling the name and the type, so here also I'll tell the name. So name should be, I'll make it as file. What is the name of the that thing? Like here I'm telling the name as age, or here ID, so here I'm telling it should be as a name as a file. Type will be also, it will be a file only, type file, not anything string or something else. Undo required, and we'll make it true. Okay. And if you want to add description, so you can add description also. File upload. Okay. And there's something error, I think. Parameters in form data. Parameters, it's in the M. Let me make, yeah, it will be like this. Yeah. So now in the response, what I'll get? Responses in 200. So I'll say description. Okay. Now I want to cache the file also, so I'll just make a URL called upload, and in upload, let me just remove these things. So for uploading the file, we'll use npm install, and what we'll use express dash file dash upload. Okay, so it will be quickly installed, and here what I'll say, const file upload equals to require express dash file. Okay, it's not installed. Express file. Okay, file upload will be together, and it's done. So here is the express file upload, and here is the app dot use express. Here is the app dot use file upload. Okay, let me just save it and check whether it's running fine or there is some syntax error. There's some error. Not npm install, is node more index. I was just gone into thought of React. App dot use app before. Okay, app before initialization, obviously. Okay, now it's everything's fine. Now here I'll just take the file. How will I take the file? It's very simple. Firstly, in this I'll just make a folder called upload. Okay, now here I'll say, instead of that got, it will be app dot post, and here I'll say constant file equals to request dot files dot file, because the name of the variable is file. See, name is file, so I'm writing file, and let path where I want to upload it. So I'll say that dash directory name plus slash upload. Upload is the folder name, plus I'll say what file name you wanna give. I'll say date dot now plus pic or dot jpg. So I'll just import the jpg, so I'm directly writing jpg, and here I'll say plus file. Okay, file name also. Yeah. Now here I'll say file dot move up path, and here I'll say if there is an error, show an error, otherwise rest dot send. Okay, okay. Okay, so basically just send the okay after uploading it. So let me just check it whether the file uploader is okay. Uploader API got ready. Now if I go here, you can see it's showing required form data upload. So I'll say try it out. Now I'll use this pick. Now I check it. So I got okay. Now I check here Swagger upload. I got the file. See, so I named it file date.now plus jpg. Now come, suppose you want to send other data with the files. Okay, so you can just, like in query I told you, just copy it. Here also just do and just copy these things, and instead of name just say whatever name you have, say id, type it will be integer, required to description id of integer. Okay, so normal stuff. So if I reload these things, see I am getting id also. Now you can send the id also with it. Okay, so that's how you do the file upload. Now suppose you want to send something in headers. Okay, so in any part, in any page, in this api, in whatever api, suppose in this file upload only I want to send the headers. So like I'm telling you, send in form data, just here, come here, and here just write dash in, and here instead of whatever you are keep on writing, just write put in header. What will the name will be auth. Suppose auth I'm making as a name. Yeah, and schema, you can define schema here like the way you defining schema. See, name type integer schema, you see schema you are defining everywhere. So if you want to define schema, you can just do schema, you'll say type, and you'll say space string. Okay, just type string, and that if you can put required true also, whatever you feel like. If I save it, so I have to check whether it's going also not. So in this side, before this I'll say console.log request.headers, it will print the headers. Okay, and our header is auth. So if I just reload this thing, choose the file, again this thing, id doesn't matter because I'm not doing anything in the backwards. Auth I will say auth 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, now if I execute it, got back okay response, file got uploaded here. Now check, see, or it printed also headers because I printed it, and you can see here should be an auth. Yeah, see, you can see there is an auth variable which I inserted it, and it's called auth 1 2 3 4 5, like what I have entered here. This is the way you can work with the header also. But you want to something send in the cookie, so you just do the same thing like this, and instead of header just write cookie and whatever name debug, then schema type string, whatever you name it, and you can just save it and send it. Like you want to send multiple cookie or multiple header, just copy it again and paste it. So in whatever data you want, you can want here, just paste it here. Wherever you want, just paste there in that API. Okay, so if you want to receive a file, so you can receive a file also. So that's it from my side. I think everything is completed. There is nothing left to tell. So every code is on my GitHub, so you can just copy it from there. So yeah, thank you guys.